Hi, everyone. This is Rich Berliner from the Connected Digital Infrastructure Association. I'm here today with Joe Boccuzzi, Dr. Joe Boccuzzi, I should say, from NVIDIA. He's the head of 5G, 6G systems for NVIDIA. And Joe, thanks so much for being with me today.
You're welcome, Rich. I'm really happy to be here.
So, Joe, you gave an absolutely mind-blowing keynote at our event in Fort Lauderdale a month ago. And it's up on LinkedIn for everybody to take a look at. But it was really an opportunity for everybody to expand what they know about what's going on in the communications sector. I can't thank you enough for doing that. And frankly, the YouTube video has gone, I don't know if we can call it viral, but it's gone a lot of different places. So I think the important thing is I want to understand more about the specifics of what you talked about in there. And that's the reason for this podcast. So I'm really happy to get your time again today. But, your take on what's happening in communications is very different from just about anybody I've spoken to in the business or outside of the business. So give us the sense of what you're looking at for the future of communications and how it all plays out in an NVIDIA world and in general in the communication space.
So that's a good question. And we noticed that AI and wireless were going to complement each other, right? And we've also noticed and expected that taking an AI ML model and applying it to a legacy network is not going to work, right? And so we wanted to drive this transformation of this next generation network. And I'm very happy to say we've been very successful at it. We have a product called Ariel on Ariel Testbed to help support that transformation. We've created these end-to-end design reference designs that we've shared with our customers and partners, and that they've improved to help with their applications. And we're really basically pushing forward this next generation network. What I want to say is that it's a GPU based and software defined. And I think that's the key to help accelerate the innovation in wireless and AI.
So great place to kick off my education here, my Encyclopedia Britannica with you. So GPUs versus CPUs. Today, the architecture of base stations and cell sites is CPU based. You're looking to change that to a GPU based technology or be GPU environment, correct? And how will that work going forward? As a lot of people, when I mention this to, the answer I get back was, oh, yeah, that has to be daisy chained, or we're not sure exactly why that's somehow a bugaboo for people. But explain that changeover to me and to our audience.
Sure. Like you said, traditional base stations have been CPU plus some acceleration, right? Whether that's an accelerator on a PCIe card or that's an accelerator within inside the SoC. And the purpose of that acceleration is to support the signal processing. And by that, I mean the intense mathematical computations that are there, right? So you offload that to hardware. And what we're proposing is a software, a CPU plus GPU solution that is truly software defined, and it allows you to run wireless and AI applications concurrently, efficiently, and it allows you to support the innovation of both of them, and at the same time be truly software defined. So that's what we see as the next generation network, to be able to support both of them.
And is that something that will be supported in a 5G standalone environment, or is that really a 6G kind of innovation? And how do you see that in the future? Excuse me, and time-wise, how do you see that?
I think we see both right now. All the demonstrations, whether they've been lab or our lab, customers' lab, or field trials, have been with 5G standalone. And now, since the 3GPP organization has started defining 6G, we're also proposing that to be a network that would be used for 6G.
Gotcha. So you opened my eyes at the event we did to the NVIDIA Nokia deal that was done where NVIDIA invested $1 billion into Nokia. And I sent you a note during the week that there was an article written by somebody who bumped into I guess, the Nokia team at Mobile World Congress and said, gee, it's been 4 or 5 months since this deal happened, and I haven't seen much of anything come out of it. And I got a chuckle out of that, and I think you might have also, about the fact that from a time frame standpoint, um, how do you see that rolling out, or how do you see that arrangement becoming something that the industry would notice going forward? And is 4 or 5 months way too soon to be judging that investment?
I definitely agree to that comment. I think that, we're just getting started with artificial intelligence and wireless connectivity together. It's a big effort to be able to support these different disciplines, the medical industry, transportation, manufacturing, and so really it does take this village to bring it to life. And if I can compartmentalize that, I'll give you different boxes for that. The first one that I like to talk about is standardization groups like 3GPP or O-RAN Alliance. Those are groups that are very important to bring industry leaders together and define the next best generation products. And as I started recently to do for 6G. Another one I like to talk about is another bucket would be this organization, and one that I really like is the AI RAN Alliance, and their task to bring industry leaders together to proliferate and show the benefits of AI in the access network, the radio access network, the RAM. And also, more, I would say, even more importantly, is to organize it, right? It's such a big effort. What's the best way to organize that? And they've come up with these 3 scenarios, which I thought was really nice: AI on RAN, AI for RAN, and AI and RAN. The AI on RAN, basically, you have your applications, your query and your response running over the wireless application, and you benefit from the services that wireless gives you, such as lower latency, improved reliability, etc. AI for RAN, you take the AI ML models and you use them to improve performance, or help with autonomous networks to give you improved spectral efficiency, increase capacity, user capacity, cell throughput capacity. And then the last one is AI and RAN, and that allows you to run the wireless applications and the AI applications at the same time concurrently. So if you have a cell utilization that's kind of low, maybe say in the middle of the night, you can combine your wireless resources together and use the other ones more efficiently, or utilize them better to run your AI on that. So with that in mind, we're very happy, very excited to be working with Nokia. They're an industry leader in wireless digital communications. We're going to be working to define this next generation network, which takes some time to port and change direction to a GPU and a CPU based solution. And we're doing that to support those 3 cases that I just mentioned. The next generation to support AI on, AI for, and AI and. And so not only will you be able to get improved performance, but also you'll be able to support the acceleration in those areas.
So you're telling me, Joe, that you can't change the whole industry and completely revolutionize everything in 3 or 4 months? I mean, what are
Yeah,
you
just
doing all day out there? You can't fix it that quickly.
that's right. Need a little bit more time.
Yeah, you're entitled to at least a
That's
half a
right.
generation or so. But that's
Yeah.
great. So one of the other things that you schooled me on, I think is really interesting, is the different types of latency that exist. Because we talked a little bit, and we're going to focus on our next event, which is in Las Vegas on September 1st, kind of coming out of the huge success that we had in Fort Lauderdale. We're going to be talking a lot about the edge. And one of the things I asked you recently, and you schooled me on, was the 2 kinds of latency that are involved with this move to the edge. The edge is getting a lot more play. For a long time it was discussed, and then it kind of dropped off the face of the earth, and now everybody's talking about it again. And so could you kind of talk to our audience about the types of latency and why the edge is somehow coming back into play now with those two types of latencies?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would say if you can mentally draw a picture that you have your user, a transport network, and a server, right? And the user has to send a query to the server. It takes time to get there, and the server is going to process the data and then give you a response, right? So the latency, which is the time delay for you to respond, to get that response, consists of two parts, the transport and also the processing. So if you assume the transport is about 100, maybe 200 milliseconds round trip delay, and your processing takes microseconds, then it benefits you to take that processing and move it to the edge because then you save the few hundred milliseconds of latency it takes you to get the data back and forth. That's one example. And I can make another example where the processing may take, 5 seconds. And so it may take you 100, 200 milliseconds round trip, but the processing takes you 5 seconds. So when you move that processing to the edge, it's going to be approximately five. So it's not much gain. So in that case, I wouldn't use the edge for the benefit of lower latency, but I would use the edge for the other benefits that it has, reducing traffic that you send back and forth, improved reliability, privacy, and stuff like that.
Gotcha. So there's another trade show coming up that NVIDIA is a part of. I guess NVIDIA, it's really NVIDIA's show. It's called GTC. It's held in California. And tell us about GTC and why is NVIDIA doing an event like that on its own?
I think GTC is very exciting for us because it's really about our customers. It's really about our customers showing what they've done, all the benefits they have, and there's a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of new technology that gets displayed and everything. And we're really looking forward to seeing more physical AI demonstrations at this one, at this GTC.
Right. Well, it's no connected digital infrastructure event, but I'm sure it's going to be well attended and very
Yeah.
exciting. And so, the kinds of things I understand you're going to do a piece, you're doing a talk at the event, and is
A
that
demo.
something we can discuss, or is that sort of your coming out party for some of the things you're working on?
I would say it's a coming out party, so you have to stay tuned and attend the conference.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I hope people that watch this will attend GTC because I hear it's an
Yeah, I
exciting
hope so
event.
too. Yes.
Great. Joe, you've been terrific in explaining things in a very understandable way to our audience, and I really appreciate it very much. Anything you'd like to add that we haven't covered here today? Because again, between your video from the keynote at the event to what's being discussed here today, I think you've really painted a great picture of the future of what telecom is going to look like in relation to AI and
Yeah.
how it's going to fit together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything we didn't cover that you'd like to add?
I'm not sure. I think I just want to say that, we're just getting started now, and there's a lot of great opportunities coming. And it's really important that we all come together as an ecosystem and achieve those goals because there's a lot of interesting stuff coming.
Right. And your topic at our event in Fort Lauderdale was robust connectivity is a must for your AI investment to mean anything to pay off. And so I think, in this situation, you described as much as you can about how all the communications pieces can cooperate to get people, real estate owners, business people of all kinds, to maximize that AI investment. And so I really think that this has been tremendously helpful. We've been talking with Dr. Joe Boccuzzi from NVIDIA today. Joe is head of the 5G, 6G systems for NVIDIA. Joe, I can't thank you enough for being with us, and good luck at GTC. I hope your speech goes well, and try and change things more quickly than we've had 4 or 5 months here. Try to get there as soon as you can. Uh,
Yes, we are.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Joe.
Rich. Thank you, Rich. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Great. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk soon. Come see us in September 1st in Las Vegas at Planet Hollywood. We'll be there with a contingent just like in Fort Lauderdale, but bigger, better, and more hard hitting. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.